But I have
I didn't get 20 years on accident. It took work to get here.
look. I'm sure. I'm
I'm
sure.
being serious. Like I got married
Right.
at 19. Like I took an extremely hard route,
So I
and
don't I don't see.
I
So
dedicated
that's
myself
not
to learning this.
qualifying you to me.
So just hear what I'm saying. I dedicated myself to learning this because coming up, I didn't have anybody to give me the wisdom on how to do this marriage thing. Like everybody just told me to. Everybody, the deacons told me to just make money. I'm
Yes.
telling. This is what they told me. They said you just make money, you give her everything she wants, and your marriage is going to work out well. It was the most horrible advice because I'm defining myself by money, defining myself by things, and who I am hinders on what I have. That
Right.
means if I don't have any money, I must be a terrible person, and so I show up poorly. So I'm passionate about this is because men and women are not taught correctly from people who would have like I don't have one of those marriages where everything was picture perfect. I come from homelessness. I come from living with my mother-in-law. I come from not being taken out of school in the third grade and having to get my GED. I'm talking about the rough of the rough. Being a teenage, I got my wife pregnant when I was 19, a teenager, right? I'm talking about I've lived life. And so even though my perspective is not 100%, it does provide value. And I've worked hard because what you guys don't know is because of what I went through, there's sometimes I stutter. But I've worked really hard to articulate myself because I saw a need for people who were struggling in their marriages. They needed somebody with real life experience to speak about the struggles and what it takes to make it work. Right. So nothing you see is by accident. It didn't just drop. My marriage isn't an accident. How I'm speaking isn't an accident. My research isn't an accident. I've had to work really hard because there were millions of people who could be married and be great. They just don't have the tools, particularly if they go through hell. And I want to serve as an example that just because you guys go through difficult times does not mean that it cannot work if you have the tools you need to make it work.